They stood in fear, where could they go? They stood so brave, what did they know? On this day hear us pray, each prayer meant for you. B'yom HaShoah Yikatevu. How could it be the world was blind? Was no one there to make a stand? On this day hear us pray, our prayers call out to you. B'yom HaShoah Yikatevu. On this day hear us pray, our prayers call out to you. B'yom HaShoah Yikatevu. Never again, never again, hear our voice tonight. Never again, never again, knowing wrong from right. The years have passed, we still recall. The Spirit left inspires us all. On this day hear us pray, the flame still burns for you. B'yom HaShoah Yikatevu. On this day hear us pray, 6 million prayers for you. B'yom HaShoah Yikatevu. On this day hear us pray, 6 million prayers for you. B'yom HaShoah Yikatevu.
The world should know what happened to us.
I've been there. I lived through it.
Before the Second World War, there were vibrant Jewish communities across all of Europe. Jewish people could be found in all walks of life, ranging from poor workers to famous scientists.
The Holocaust was the murder of approximately 6 million Jewish men, women and children by Nazi Germany in the Second World War. It was an event which affected the whole of Europe.
My parents paid the price for being normal, decent people, but being of the Jewish religion.
The Nazis also murdered other groups of people for racist reasons, including more than 200,000 Roma, or Gypsies, and around 200,000 people with disabilities.
I lost my husband, my parents, my 2 sisters, my nephew, and the wider family would have been about 15 people, nobody.
I saw my mother and 4 of my sisters being shot in front of my eyes.
The Nazis were extreme racists who wanted to completely remove Jews from Germany and eventually Europe. After the Nazis came to power in 1933, German Jews were stripped of their rights. Tens of thousands of people, not all of them Germans, were involved in the murders, ranging from the policemen in the killing squads to the officials who organised the timetables of trains to the death camps.
Even to this day, I ask myself, what have the Jewish people done to this world to deserve to be hated and tormented and killed just because of the Jews?
In 1939, the Second World War began when Germany invaded Poland, the country which had the biggest Jewish population in Europe. Polish Jews were immediately attacked and humiliated. They were also marked out by being forced to wear a special badge. The Nazis then created ghettos, poor areas of towns where Jews were forced to live. Hundreds of thousands of people died from starvation and disease.
In late 1941, the Nazi leadership decided on what they called the final solution of the Jewish question. This meant the murder of every single Jewish person in the whole of Europe. To carry out this policy, mass shootings increased, but in Poland, the Nazis also created their most sinister invention: death camps. The largest of these camps was Auschwitz-Birkenau.
I actually witnessed mass murder in the gas chambers of Auschwitz-Birkenau for 8 months. And I saw hundreds and thousands upon thousands of people walking into a building and never come out.
In the summer of 2012, the England football squad travelled to Poland to compete in the European Championships. Before they left, the squad wanted to learn more about the history of what happened in Poland during the Holocaust. They met 2 survivors of this horrific period who told them their life stories.
My name is Ziggy Schipper and I'm a Holocaust survivor.
My name is Ben Helfgott. I was born in Poland in 1929.
I want people to know what happened because of racism, hatred, bigotry, prejudice.
It's given me a huge lift, very inspirational people, and as a footballer sometimes you realise how lucky and how privileged you are. The lives that we're leading today, you look at these people, what they've been through, and these are real people who've had bad experiences through their life, but they've got the bravery and the character to come here today and do that speech. Is fantastic.
It was an honour to meet them, and for them to be so excited to meet us was quite strange, to be fair. As I say, we're footballers, but they are what you call heroes.
In Poland, members of the England squad visited Auschwitz-Birkenau. It was to this site, and to the other death camps beginning in the early 1940s, that Jewish people from across Europe were deported, mostly by train in cattle trucks.
When they arrived in the camp, a small minority, usually young men like Ziggy, were selected to work. The others, especially children and old people, were all killed in gas chambers, which were disguised as shower rooms.
Just the whole kind of scale of the place, and you know, the numbers that they said walk through these doors with absolutely no hope of living, and you know, just been in there where the bodies were cremated. So just about what you said, 90% of the people that came through the door didn't even really last over an hour.
I think when we all went in to see, you know, the human hair, and then we moved next door and we started seeing suitcases, and we saw sort of the age difference between, you know, 60-year-olds and even sort of 3-year-olds. Next door you see, you know, the selection of shoes, and let's be honest, we saw probably 40,000 pairs of shoes, but that would have been nothing compared to obviously the amount of people that obviously died.
Well, I'm glad I came, but I've got to say it's not a pleasant experience. It's a very chastening experience, a very harrowing experience as well. It's very difficult to imagine this type of inhumanity, but to see it so clearly documented and have the guide explain so clearly and so graphically how everything took place and the scale, it's still very worrying today, 60 years after the event.
By the end of the war in 1945, the Nazis had murdered 6 million Jewish people. By remembering these victims and the stories of survivors such as Ziggy and Ben, we may hope to learn and pass on lessons from the past, to ensure that the discrimination and mass murder which took place in the Holocaust may never be repeated.